Hello, first graders. It is math time. So what we are doing for the next, well, starting today and all through next week and part of the following week is talking about regrouping, adding numbers together with regrouping, which we've talked about before, but now we're just going to be working on that for the next 2 weeks. And then also we'll move on to subtracting with regrouping. So we will not be doing any of our worksheets that go along with our book. You will only have math time with Mrs. Purcell, and we're going to practice using our Unifix cubes when we're adding and when we're subtracting with our regrouping. All right, so that being said, let me swing over to my board. So you should have one of these mats. You should also have a dry erase marker that you can use on a board, or if you have a piece of paper, then you can just write the equations on that as well, and we'll have a list of all of our equations on that piece of paper. So whatever supplies you have on hand in order to write the equations, that is okay. All right, so what we're going to do is write our first equation. So we are going to add 13 plus 18. All right, so with your Unifix cubes, I would like you to show me how many tens we need and how many ones we need to make the number 13. After that, I need you to take tens and ones to show me how to make the number 18. So for the number 13, we should have 1 10, and it lets us know in our number that there's a 1 in the tens place, so we need 1 10. We should have 3 ones, because when we look in the ones place, it tells us that we have 3 ones. For the number 18, we should also have 1 10. If we look here, it tells us 1 10. And we'll look over here in the ones place, we need to have 8 ones for the number 18. So we have all of our ones together on the right side and all of our tens together on the 10 side. Whenever we are adding numbers together, we always start in the ones place, right? So let us combine our ones and see how many ones we have all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 ones. So, am I allowed to write 11 here in the ones place? I should be hearing every single one of you screaming, no, absolutely not. So I read recently, it was a cute little idea, that we can consider every single one of these spots a little raft. So where the 3 is, that's one raft. This is another raft. This spot is another raft. This spot here is a raft. This spot as well, and that spot. And we can only have one number in each raft. One number. So I can't have both the 1 and the other 1 for 11 in that spot. So what we can kind of think is, well, I'm going to write the 11 here just as a way of keeping track. And on my chart it says if I have 9 or less, I'm going to let it rest. I'm allowed to put that in this little raft spot. But if I have 10 or more, I need to carry it next door. So my 1 from the ones place stays in the ones place, and my 1 that's over here in the tens place needs to be brought over here to the tens place. So let's do that with our ones. So I would like you guys to do the same thing. Start connecting your cubes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once I have 10, he's not allowed to hang out over here in the ones place anymore. We have to bring him over here to the tens place. All right, so now we have our 1, 1 left in the ones place, and now it's time to add all of our tens together. So let's count our tens. We have 1, 2, 3. Let's add our numbers together. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. So our answer to 13 plus 18 is 31. Our answer is 31. Good job, guys. So go ahead and clear your board, and we will do another one. All right. Our next equation will be 33 plus 17. All right, it's time to show your numbers. So first, we need to put 33 . So 3 tens and 3 ones. Now I need to show 17. Means I need 1 10 and 7 ones. Okay, so all of you know that we have to add our ones together first. So I'm going to slide these ones down here so they're all grouped together. I want to know how many ones there are all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 ones. All right, so this time we're going to go ahead, attach all of our cubes. If there are 10 of them, they have to be attached. Okay. So remember, I want to think to myself, I have 10 ones. That isn't 9 or less. So I can't leave 10 down here. There's too many digits for that one raft. I have to carry it next door. So I have 1 10. And do I have any ones left? Nope, absolutely not. So I write my 0 here. I have 0 ones left. All right, let me stick this guy over here. So now let's see how many 10s we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we get the same thing when we add our numbers together. 3 plus 1 more is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Good job. So when we add these two numbers together, 33 plus 17, that equals 50. All right, clear your board. Let's see what our next equation will be. This time we have 25 plus 26. Let's use our cubes to show 25. The 2 in the tens place tells me that I need 2 tens. Then the 5 in the ones place tells me that I need 5 ones. Okay, now our next number, 26. Again, I have 2 tens. There's a number 2 in the tens place. But this time I have 6 in the ones place. I need 6 ones. Okay. Like the first 2 times, we add our ones together first. So let's bring our ones down together. And let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I'm going to put this over in my little side section. So I'm thinking to myself, I have 11 when I add 5 and 6 together. So is that 9 or less? No, so I can't let 11 rest here in this spot. There's too many digits. So I need to carry 10 over. And then how many ones do I have left? Let's see. So let's attach. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I can't attach this little guy. He's left over. I can only attach 10, and then I can move it over to the tens place. That's why we wrote that 1 at the top, because we made a 10. But I have 1 left over in the ones place. So now I can add my tens together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's look at our numbers. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. So our equation says 25 plus 26 equals 51. Nice work. You may clear your board. And it's time to erase my numbers for another equation. So this time I have 15 plus 15. So in the number 15, I have 1 10 and 5 ones. And in my other 15, I have the same thing, 1 10 and 5 ones. All right, step 1, add our ones together. Let's push these guys down. We want to know how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if there's 10 of them, I have to attach all of them. So put all of your ones together to make a 10. Okay, so I have a 10. So if I look at that number, in the number 10, I don't have any ones left. That's what that 0 in 10 tells me. So I put the 0 there in the ones place. And my 110, I carry next door. Here's my 10. That's being carried next door. Whoops. Okay, so now let's see how many 10s we have. 1, 2, 3. So let's add our numbers together to see if they match up. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. So our equation says 15 plus 15 equals 30. Nice work. All right, so now we will put our cubes away, and you are going to be looking at a sheet that looks just like, whoops, just like this. Okay, so we have our little giraffe, and we will be practicing putting our equations on this sheet and adding our ones together. We're adding our 10s together after we regroup if we have more than 9 ones. Okay. So what I'm going to do, one of these little squares, so it's a little bit bigger, I blew it up for you so that way you can see my numbers a little bit better. All right, and this is what else we're going to do. So I have my bowl of different equations that we're going to pull out of the bowl. It'll be a surprise each time, and guess who's going to help us? Solomon. All right, Solomon. Let's see, what's our first equation going to be? Oh, thank you. All right, let me put this over here. Okay, so Solomon says, this is the card he pulled, 27 plus 47. So in your first section on your sheet, so here where it says number 1, I need you to fill in those numbers. 27 plus 47. Perfect. Step 1, like always, we add our ones together. And we have 7 plus 7. So what's a strategy that we can use to add those two numbers together? That's right, it's one of our doubles. We know 7 plus 7, it's 14. Okay, so if I write 14 over here, I will see that the 4 is in the ones place. All right, the 4 is in the ones place. So that's what stays over in the ones place in your answer. The 1 in the tens place tells me that we made a 10. So that needs to go over here into the tens place. I need to regroup and put it right there. So I can see, as I'm just writing the equation, that 7 plus 7 is 14. I have the 1 here and my 4 here. 14. So now I add all of my 10s together. I'm going to start with 4 since that's my biggest number. 4 plus 2 is 6, that's right. Plus 1 more, 7. Nice. So our answer for our equation 27 plus 47 is 74. Okay. Okay, so let's erase all of our numbers here. And then you guys can go ahead and find number 2 on your worksheet. And I think Solomon's ready to find out what our next equation is going to be. Here he is. Okay. This one? Okay. Here's what Solomon pulled out. Whoop. 48 plus 16. 48 plus 16. I'm going to pull this just a little bit closer for you guys. Okay. Okay. As always, we add our ones together first. We have 8 plus 6. What strategy could we use to add those two numbers together? You know what I think I might do? I might put 8 in my head, and then I know I have 6 fingers. So I'm going to keep counting on. I already have 8. Now I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 is my answer. That sounds familiar. We just had that. Okay, so 14. Which digit in the number 14 is in the ones place? That's right, the 4. So I want to keep that in the ones place because when I made my 10, I still have 4 left over. I still have 4 little ones. This 1 here tells me that I made a 10. And that 10 can't hang out here in this float with the number 4. There's only room for 1. We have to send him over, regroup him, and put him in the tens place. All right, so now we can add our tens together. I'm going to start with my big number. 4 plus 1 more is 5. I can't forget this guy. 1 more is 6. All right, so 48 plus 16 equals 64. Nice. All right, go ahead and find number 3 on your worksheet. All right, let's see what Solomon picks next. Oop, there he is. Oh, he's going deep. He's going deep. What did we find, Solomon? All right, here's his equation. 57 plus 17. 57 plus 17. Okay. We're going to add our ones together first. We have doubles again. We should know this. 7 plus 7, 14. Okay, let me stick this over here so that way I can look at my number. The 4 in the ones place tells me that I have 4 ones. So I'm going to put that over here in the ones place, but there isn't any room for that 1. That 1 represents a 10 that we made. We need to send that 1 over here to the tens place. Perfect. So now I'm going to start with my big number again. I have 5 plus 1 more is 6. I can't forget this guy. 1 more is 7. Okay. So I have my equation 57 plus 17 equals 74. All right, while I erase my board, go ahead and find number 4 on your worksheet. And Solomon is back to work. Here we go. Find a good one? Okay, let's go. Oh, 43 plus 18. So write that by number 4. 43 plus 18. Okay. So again, step 1, we add our ones together. So we have an 8 down here at the bottom and a 3 on the top. So do I have to start with the top number if I'm adding those two numbers together? That's right, I don't. It doesn't matter which order I add these two numbers together, I will still end up with the same answer. And it's always wise to choose the big number to start off with. So if I start with 8 and I count on 3 more, 9, 10, 11, that is my answer to 8 plus 3. So I know there's only one spot, there's only one raft here that can hold one number. So let's look at 11. We have a 1 in the ones place. So that 1 gets to stay in the ones place. The 1 in the tens place means that we made a 10. And he can't hang out here in the ones place. We have to send him over here to the tens place. He can't hang out in the ones place. We have to send him to the tens place. So now we can add our tens together. Again, I find the biggest number. I always start with that biggest number. 4 plus 1 more is 5, plus 1 more is 6. 43 plus 18 equals 61. All right, we have one more. Find number 5. Let's see what Solomon finds for us this time. Whoop, there he is. Going in deep. Oh, you're making a mess, Solomon. Okay, you got one? There we go. We'll let him hold this one. Whoop, turn it up right this way. We have 67 plus 28. Thank you, Solomon. Okay, your work is done, sir. 67 plus 28. Step 1, we add our ones together. Okay, so 7 and 8. Those are pretty close to each other. If we think about them on a number line, they're right next to each other, aren't they? So we already figured out in, I think, 2 of our equations that 7 plus 7 equals 14. So this is a near double, an almost double. We just need one more. So 14 plus 1 more is 15. Good job. So in the number 15, which digit is in the ones place? The 5. So that 5 can stay here in the ones place, but we only have room for that 1 5. Let's look at that 15 again. We have a 1 in the tens place. So that means that 1 needs to go right over here into the tens place. And now we can add all of our tens together. I'm going to start with my biggest number again. 6 plus 2 more, so I can just count on 2 more, 7, 8, good job. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So our equation says 67 plus 28 equals 95. Move my camera. Ooh, it's bright. So first graders, Solomon and I had a blast working on some regrouping, adding two numbers together and having too many digits in that ones place. So we have to make a 10 and send it over to the tens place. You guys did a wonderful job, and I will see you on Monday for another lesson on regrouping. Have a great weekend. Bye.